So the debate on whether the EFCC will arraign the Okoya boys, Shibomi and Wahab, for allegedly abusing the Naira in this video continues to rage on, especially on social media. While the vast majority of people think their father's name and influence will ultimately bail them out, others say the reason why they won't face the music is because all the major actors in this case are from a particular ethnic group in this country. The defendants are themselves Yorubas, the IG of police is a Yoruba man, the EFCC chairman is a Yoruba man, and of course, the president of the country is proudly a Yoruba man. So proponents of this theory believe that the case against these boys is dead on arrival. Is the situation really that bad? Maybe not. And I understand why a lot of people don't seem to have faith in the EFCC. But I will share with you why I think the Okoya boys will not be going to prison, contrary to what some people want, and why the EFCC is currently under immense pressure to at least present these boys before a law court in Nigeria. So two issues here. Will the EFCC arraign them in court? And then secondly, will these boys end up in prison like your mommy of Lagos? So I will start with the latter. So why am I sure these boys will not be going to prison? It is because the offense for which they might be charged is a misdemeanor, for which the punishment is an option of fine or a sentence of not more than 6 months. So it is at the discretion of the court which of these two punishments will be handed down. But my educated guess is, just like it happened in the case of Cubana chief priest, if, and this is a big if, so if the EFCC summons the courage and political will to take them to court, they will both plead not guilty, then they will thereafter go reach an out-of-court settlement with the EFCC, after which the judge will ask that they pay a fine and of course, go and sin no more. Case closed. And all of that is completely legal under our current laws. And of course, there is precedent for this. When Cubana chief priest found himself in a similar mess, this is exactly how it played out in court. After he had pleaded not guilty, his lawyers on his behalf entered into an agreement with the EFCC that he, Cubana chief priest, will be of good behavior and never indulge in any economic and financial crime or related offenses. Secondly, that he, Cubana chief priest, shall engage in rigorous and intensive sensitization and campaign against the abuse of coins and notes issued under the CBN Act as a legal tender. And lastly, that he, Cubana chief priest, shall on a bi-monthly basis post on his various social media handles a minimum of 2 video clips of his sensitization campaign against the abuse of Naira. Once these agreements were reached, the court struck out the case against him and then asked him to pay an option of 10 million Naira, and the case was closed. And please, don't ask me why this wasn't the case when Bobrisky found himself in a similar situation. My suspicion is that Bobrisky was a target of the high and powerful in Nigeria. If that wasn't the case, then of course, he was a victim of his own legal advice. But there's an elephant in the room. Will the EFCC have the political will and courage to take these boys to court? The EFCC, under the current chairman, has been vowing almost on daily basis that the EFCC under his watch will be a different breed. But nothing will test that resolve more than this case. Besides their father's influence in Lagos and of course in Nigeria, Razak Okoya is also a long-time friend of the current president, Bola Tinubu. It will certainly be interesting to see how all of this play out in the coming days and weeks. And while we wait with bated breath to see whether or not the EFCC will protect its own image or further dent that image, I think it is also important that we beam the searchlight on the Nigerian police, who seem to think the only redeeming thing that they can do in this recurring trend of policemen and women being used as errand boys and girls is this.
We actually condemned the act and we announced that the policeman has been identified and of course arrested, detained and subjected to disciplinary action. Many people are like raising eyebrow attacking the police, dragging us up and down. We have done what we should at a responsible institution. Because the first instance, the policeman was not attached to these boys. No, the policeman was attached to the company. So how did the policeman leave the company, the Ganza company, to come to that location, to join them in filming? And it was even, it descended so low to even carry bills and bundles of money for them on uniform. So it's unethical, it's unprofessional, and the police has acted accordingly. You have done what we should do. But the police has done that, and we have taken the bull by the horn. It's not a matter of selective justice. We have done what we should do, and we have taken necessary action concerning the policeman that was captured in the viral video. So we want Nigerians to always understand us, to be on the same page with us. If you have not done anything, you still be the same set of people who still say the police are folding their arms, they are not doing anything. We have done now, you are still dragging us. I understand your plight, I understand your argument.
No, you don't, Mr. Piaro. And I perfectly understand why you don't understand. But for whatever it is worth, here's what Nigerians are saying. Nigerians want us as a nation to get to that point where the consequences of turning our policemen and women into domestic staff or errand boys and girls have to be a two-way street. Yes, we commend the Nigerian police for recalling this police officer. And it is perfectly okay for him to pay for his foolishness and unprofessional conduct. But what about the individual or company he or she was attached to before being recalled? Shouldn't certain consequences be meted out to them as well? Nigerians want the police to adopt a policy that says, for instance, if our policemen are caught doing any activity outside of their professional duties, such policeman or woman will not only be immediately withdrawn from duty, but the individual or company that they were attached to would lose the right to have that privilege for a certain period of time. Or they can even be banned permanently from having access to our policemen. What about that kind of policy in Nigerian police? Because what seems to be happening right now is that only the officer that is found wanting gets penalized. The rich, powerful, and influential are never penalized. And all the Nigerian police does is to replace an erring police officer, and the whole circle continues. Truth is, this is not the first time this class of Nigerians have turned our policemen into errand boys and girls. And incidences like this, I'm sure, will not be the last.